Hello everyone, it's Loretta, and today I'm going to do some no-line watercoloring. I have shown this to you before. However, I have discovered how to mirror my iPhone screen with my computer so I can actually see what I'm doing and whether or not I'm in frame or not. To me, that's a game changer. Hopefully this means that you will be able to see my videos much better. First thing I'm going to do is clean my stamp. This one honestly needs to go to the sink and be washed, but for the purposes of today's video, we're just going to give it a quick little cleanup. And I see right away that this mini mister is too small for this larger stamp. So we're going to fix it. We're going to use our regular size Misty. If you would like to purchase a Misty, for right now you can purchase them on my website lorettarodger.com. However, I only have one in stock right now, so if you want one, there may be a slight wait. And my magnet was catching on something. First thing I'm going to do is use an anti-static bag and clean off my watercolor paper. This is Canson XL cold press, and it is lovely to stamp on. Today's stamping, I'm going to be using Versamark ink. After a while, your ink pads will look like this. Okay, I apologize for any jiggling. Actually, I should say I forgot to turn on my studio lights, so I went ahead and did that. I just re-inked my Versamark pad, so it's extra sticky. I'm still going to stamp this at least twice. I like to press it down and hold it in place for about 6 seconds. And then you move to another, kind of do it in chapters. Now, if you know from experience your Misty has gotten a little bit loose from use, I've actually had this Misty since they first came out. So it is like the second generation. Because the only reason I know is because the patent's on here, and the first ones ever made didn't have the patent information on there. The young woman who invented this is very smart and probably has made a bundle on this. I have one hand under the bottom and one hand up top, and I'm just pushing my two hands together to make sure that I have really good even pressure on this stamp. Then I like to just use my sleeve if it's winter, or a baby wipe in this case, and just rub it over the top of the stamp. Cutting mat, you get 2 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. They're fabulous when you're working with anything that's got liquid on it, because you can just wipe them off, and if they get really bad, throw them in the garbage. They are really not expensive, and they do the job very well. I am using a Wagner heat gun. I have had mine for quite a while, which is going to explain why it looks the way it does. Honestly, if you do a lot of arts and crafts, your heat gun will look like this. It's not going to affect it. Just make sure that the air fins don't get gunked up with paint. I'm going to preheat my heat tool, and then we're going to emboss this. Alright, today's watercolors are actually Master's Touch. This is the Hobby Lobby brand name, and I have to admit, I own a set of Lucas watercolors and Winsor & Newton. Even though the quality isn't quite as good, I do enjoy working with these. They're quite soft, pretty forgiving for the most part. So it doesn't matter if you've never done any watercoloring at all. You're going to find that these are very easy just to pick up and use. First, I'm just going to use my spray bottle of water. I have selected a few watercolor brushes and a few watercolor pens for today. Down I'm going to use the pens. However, that is a fabulous way to start out with any watercoloring. I do like these brushes. This is a number 2 from Blick Scholastic. Online they actually have really good reviews as far as watercolor brushes. I would love to have a nice set of brushes that have natural bristles, but honestly these are fine. So I want to do my greens first, and what I like to do, and as you can see I've been doing it, I like to add a little green to the yellow and then keep adding green until I have it the color that I want. I'm not necessarily being real careful about how I put this paint down. For one thing, it's a very loose image anyway, and I don't think that it needs that much fuss. So I do like to go from the green to my next color, which in this case is kind of a, I don't know, it's not quite teal, blue. And since I used my embossing powder, once it's heat set, will resist the watercolor and the image starts to pop. I still love to use Copic markers for coloring, but today I was in the mood for some watercoloring. In between colors, you can clean your brush with water if you'd like. I just like to take a baby wipe because I can actually get more paint out of it this way. Just take your nails and really get into those bristles, and it will take the color completely out of it. For this larger center flower, which you may or may not be able to see, I'm going to use some really fun purple. Alright, now that it's painted, I'm going to go ahead and heat set it again. I'm just going to use, in this case, a dry napkin. And I'm going to run over the surface of this. What this does is it allows any embossing powder that was left on the top of the image to completely resist the color up underneath it. So when you buff it off, any extra color is also buffed away, and it just makes the image pop. Now all you have to do is put it on the front of your card, or you can die cut it. The sky's the limit. You can even frame this small little piece and put a small sentiment on it of some kind. If you haven't and you'd like to be, please subscribe to my channel. Leave me a thumbs up and share my videos on your social media. Here are some other videos I think that you'll enjoy. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.